Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Laura of Laura Plans It, and today I'm going to show you how I set up my Erin Condren teacher lesson planner for a typical homeschool week with my two children, one who is in kindergarten range and one who is in the 3rd grade. All right, so I know a lot of people are really looking into the Erin Condren teacher planners and lesson planners in general right now because so many parents have their children at home homeschooling during the coronavirus and during these isolation days. So one of the things that I wanted to show you is how I set up an Erin Condren teacher lesson planner for a typical week of homeschool. Now we are on a modified homeschool schedule right now because we have finished our testing for the year. We have finished a majority of our schoolwork for the year as well. So right now it's just kind of a little bit less than what you would typically see in a homeschool week. So to give you an example of what a normal homeschool week looks like for us, I'm gonna go back to September when the year was just starting and show you kind of how we set things up. So you could see here in September, I have language arts, math, history, and science, which we alternate every other day. In this particular week, it was just history, and I believe the following week was science. Language arts for my daughter, math and pre-K work for my daughter as well, and then our specials, which were any extracurricular activities, so geography, music, coding, and art. So this here was, I think, our 2nd week of school. So here's our 1st week of school. This one's a really good example. So I've got all of my titles up here. We put in all of the work, so spelling, grammar, handwriting, phonics, math tests, history, and science work divided up depending on how we have that week going. I have my daughter's same thing, so all of her language arts, spelling, handwriting, workbooks, reading, and then her math and pre-K work here as well. And then our specials. So geography, we use the Little Passport subscription. Music is a program that they do typically outside of the house, but right now we're doing it virtually. Coding, we actually use Scratch Junior for that. And then art, I have an art curriculum that we watch the DVD for, and then I have the supplies for them to do art. I then put any makeup work down at the bottom here, and I have titles, stickers that I don't ever really use them for next week's prep, book list, and notes. A lot of the things that we use are more of a virtual curriculum, so I don't actually have to take too many notes. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna get started setting up next week. Again, we are on a much more modified schedule, so there'll be a lot less in here. And I also am not gonna be using the Erin Condren subject stickers because I've just moved to a new planning space and I'm not entirely sure where I put them. So I'll just be using handwriting for that. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna get started. When I'm all set, I'll come back and walk you through everything that I've put in here. so here's my teacher planner for next week. And what I did first was put in the titles here. So Jake and Lily each get their own side of the planner because again, I only have the 2 kids that I have to work with. I do language arts, math, and specials, language arts, math, specials. Then I went in and I looked through each of their curriculum, see where we are on our chart and what they have to work on that week. For Jake's math, I've gone ahead and put in math for the whole week. For Lily, because she's in a new book and she'll be doing a lot of review, so it might go a little faster, I've only put in what she's starting for her math book and then some additional Brain Quest workbook that we use that has some problem solving and sequencing activities in there as well. The rest of the math I'll update as the week goes on. I have gone through and put in all of their language arts, and I have also put in all of their specials. So geography, music, arts and crafts, and coding are the specials that we're currently doing. So this is kind of how I have it set up. We only school Monday through Thursday, and then on Friday, this is where I put in any makeup work that they might have left over from the week. Thankfully, we really haven't had any of that the last about 2 months, which is great. So I've put some decorative stickers to cover that, and I added a couple just random decorative stickers from my seasonal happy planner book that I actually happen to have out just sitting next to me, and I thought they looked really cute. Other than that, I don't do a whole lot. Now, these check boxes here are individual check boxes. I made them myself using a silhouette paper cutter, which I'll link in the description below. I color matched them to the Erin Condren planner so that I could have them look as neat as possible. But you can either get check boxes. There's individual check boxes. You can buy them. I think Planner Kate has them. I think Nicole Hutch Designs have them. Little Red Prince might have them. I'm not sure if Nightingale Paper Company or Planner-esque has them, but most places you can get individual check boxes is what those are usually called. Another option that you have, and I'm going to flip back to last week in my planner. Actually, I'm going to go, you know what? I'm just going to do it right here. So let's say that I want to use this for a to-do list. So I'll write to do, nice and big, because I like having a title for everything. One of the options that you can use that I do quite frequently is just a mild liner. And I just put a little checklist right down, one on every line. You can skip lines if you need to skip lines, whatever it is that you need to add that in. So mild liners or any highlighter that you might have available, but mild liners make great checklists as well. I used in this, other than the stickers and the check boxes that I made myself, I used the Villa Beautiful pen, which if you followed me at all for any period of time, you know these are my absolute favorite pens. I use them in almost every video since I discovered these pens last spring. So I'm a huge fan of hers. And clearly, obviously, I love my Erin Condren planner. If you are a homeschool parent, I highly, highly recommend having a lesson planner aside from your life planner or your daily planner, whatever it is that you're using. I do recommend a separate school planner, and you can plan ahead as many weeks as you want. I plan for the next week because sometimes life happens or the kids have a bad day and you need to not do school for a day. So you can just move it on to the next week, whatever it is you need to do. If you have more than 2 kids or you've got a different amount of subjects, you don't think this layout would work, another option that you have as well, and this I did when I first got a teacher planner, and it was last year's teacher planner, not this one. An option that you have is to write the curriculum subjects on top. So let's say you've got math, science, English, or language arts, social studies, geography, science, I don't know what other subjects you might have. Whatever subjects you have, you can write them up here, and then you can color code using individual checkboxes, using mild liner checkboxes, or just using colorful pens for each child. You can color code what they have in that particular subject for that day. So if you did language arts, for us, language arts, we would really have trouble fitting both my kids in here for that. But for math, you can clearly see we can easily fit both kids for math. So for my son, I would probably do blue because it's his favorite color, and my daughter, I would do purple because that's her favorite color. But this is it. Hopefully this video is helpful and enlightening to you, especially if you're a homeschool family or a now homeschooling family. If you like this video, please hit like. If you'd like to see more videos of how I utilize the Erin Condren Teacher Lesson Planner for homeschooling, I would love if you would follow my channel by hitting that subscribe button. If you tap the bell, you'll always be alerted when a new video comes out. And as always, for behind the scenes sneak peeks and what I'm working on right now, head on over to my Instagram @LauraPlansIt. Thanks so much for watching.